Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. It's finally Friday. Program note, I'm going to be leaving in about an hour or so to go to a wedding this evening. It's about an hour and a half or so away from here. And it goes till about 10 o'clock tonight, and then I got to drive back home, so won't be around for our live stream. And since I'm a glutton for punishment, I really am. I don't know why I do this to myself. My morning video was, about how the Cowboys are screwed because of Jerry and Stephen Jones and the lies that they give us. So just a few minutes ago, 105 fan has just posted a Jerry Jones video of an interview with Jerry this morning of him going on the fan. I have no idea what Jerry's going to say, but I'm going to listen to it for the first time and just react to the bullshit that we're going to be given. So let's listen in.
We bring you our Dallas Cowboys owner and general manager, Jerry Jones. Good morning, sir.
And good morning, Kevin, Corey, Mike. Great to be on with you again today.
Absolutely, absolutely. And hopefully you will cheer us up along the way, because I see Trayvon Diggs pop up on the practice report yesterday. What is the level of concern about his availability for Sunday night?
Well, man, let me say this. If you need cheering up, just look around, maybe just right next door, and you'll see somebody that's worse off than you are. Now, let's all get our dobbers right and get excited about what we've got coming. In my opinion, Trayvon's going to be great. He certainly gave us a little scare there yesterday in practice. But, again, just a reminder that, you've got to have depth. You must have depth. The depth's got to generally come from younger players. Those players usually are not tested players. They are not players that we've seen several seasons of performance out of, but that's what that's what you got. And with that, I know it sounds like arm waving, but you say, well, there's an opportunity. I can't tell you the people that probably have been in the NFL that have never really gotten exposed because their time didn't come. It didn't work out for them as they were building the roster, and it didn't work out for them to come in situations like this where they're injury. And consequently, they really don't have the careers that they might have had they gotten out, played games, took snaps, and all of a sudden you see them do it, and you know they can do it a lot, and there you go, a career is built. So that's what we're into here. And we're doing it at the right time of year to basically count on these young guys.
Now, with that in mind, what is...
I'm sorry. Hold on. So let me see if I can think of the words here. So Jerry Jones is now turned the Dallas Cowboys into Opportunity Inc. Because now it's about building careers for guys that, for whatever reason, would never get a chance again. They wouldn't have gotten an opportunity because the teams were good. And so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to help the everyday player, the young guy, the guy that's not gotten a chance. The Dallas Cowboys now turn into a developmental team. But go on, Jerry.
Your confidence level in the receiving group, because obviously another injury there, whether it's Flournoy or Tolbert or whoever else, what's your confidence level in the receiver group, and can you tell us anything about what exactly happened with Brandon Cooks?
Well, first of all, let me tell you how excited I am about seeing these young receivers play. Flournoy is somebody that I'm anxious to see him make his first catch with the Dallas Cowboys, but he may be something special for us. And on a personal basis, he's got Des Bryant stuff to him. And boy, is he an athlete. I'm glad to see him get this opportunity, and he's been hampered by that hamstring since training camp. I think given an opportunity, he could show out. Then you've got Jalen's, you've got Brooks, and you got, of course,
Tolbert.
Tolbert, thank
there
you.
you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
I can't remember all these guys that
Jalen
we're trying to help.
Tolbert, all of them, all three of the guys I just mentioned have the ability to just get in there with lock in on the other side of Lamb and really have a big day.
Jerry, what is when you talk about the stories of the NFL and the stories of rivalries? What is Cowboys Steelers in your mind? How would you tell that story?
Well, mine, of course, my experience was playing in that Super Bowl out in Arizona, and having not only how we got to the Super Bowl be a fairy tale, but then to have played that well and to have Brown come in there and be the player of the game, most valuable player in the game from a seventh-round pick. But just really direct memories as to that game. I remember the opening game that year was against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And so that was Dion hit a home run the night before over at Cincinnati, inside the park home run. And the next thing you know, without a practice, here he comes over here, and he's on the field with us against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Switzer, Dion intercepts a pass early in the ball game, and he says, I'm going to tell you one thing, I have never in my time seen anybody come down that sideline with the kind of acceleration that he had. And so we were all excited about the future with Dion. That was opening against Pittsburgh, and the final game of the year with Switzer coaching there and in the Super Bowl. Those are fond memories for me for Pittsburgh. Dan Rooney, a great person of sport. Their story's wonderful. The Rooneys, as to the NFL, he was always someone that I enjoyed working with, had a great occasion to work with him. And frankly, a lot of people don't know it, but he was one of my most biggest, he was a big supporter of mine and the kind of things that I was for, and gave me all the encouragement in the world. And I'll never forget about the third or fourth year I was involved with the Cowboys. I ran into him at one of the league meetings, and he said, Jerry, you keep this up, son. You keep this up now, and you're going to be in the Hall of Fame. And I said, well, I didn't realize we were on the page that much, Mr. Rooney. And he said, we are. He said, you're trying to build the NFL.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to figure out.
That's a fantastic conversation to have with somebody like that, too.
Okay.
That's wonderful.
Jerry,
I heard they don't
story
care.
of his dad and how it evolved and how they evolved as the NFL.
Why do I do this to myself?
As the NFL grew, as the NFL expanded. And I just hung on every part of that growth period during those 60s.
Okay. I don't mean any harm on this when I say this now, okay? I am a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan, okay? So what I care about right now is this team and Sunday night, how we get a win, how we are going to deal with the injuries that we have, and how are we going to overcome the last 30 years. I have to be honest with you, I'm not worried about how we got here. I'm more worried right now, and I'm a history guy, but I'm more worried about how we go further. I know where we came from, and I can say, having been to Drew Pearson's Hall of Fame post party, where it was literally Bob Lilly, Rayfield Wright, Tony Dorsett, Roger Staubach, some of the greatest Dallas Cowboys legends ever together again. Michael Irvin was there, Charles Haley, hell, even Joe Theismann was there. Fans didn't care about that. So they certainly don't care about you talking about NFL expansion right there. They want to know right now what we're doing. This thing is, I think my head's going to explode. But let's go on and see if there's actually anything of substance on a plan here?
I heard the other day the phrase soft rebuild. And I was very interested in that conversation because I started looking at kind of some of the signings y'all have. The Cowboys have their quarterback. They have their receiver. They have a couple other things, but they still have some moves to do. And here they are drafting and hoping that in a couple of years those guys are going to be able to be there and be there for it. I'm kind of curious what a rebuild actually looks like in your mind, and if you think the Cowboys are in the middle of something like a soft rebuild, because y'all do have a lot of youth, but a lot of veterans to go along with it as well.
Yeah, I think you've nailed it. You're right on it. How do you sustain competitiveness in this system? How do you sustain it? And then how do you have a chance? You're up, quote, up around the rim. How do you have a chance to get in the big game and win it with the Super Bowl? It's a different stroke if you're dealing and building around a top-tier quarterback. And that's the way that we are. And you've got to really work that problem hard with draft and with young players. And so that when you see games come up that you're counting on young players, you know that that's going to be an opportunity to test the system, so to speak, test us out. And we've got to be able to have some success with young players, just like this weekend. And with the way that we're trying to sustain a chance to go to the Super Bowl with the system that we're in, and I'm all for it, is what you're seeing us do in my mind. And you've got to. I'm gonna quit singing the blues about everybody when I'm saying, look, we're short of space. We're short of space. But there's no need of talking about it. Just that when you don't see it. There's an old country song that says, baby, when that phone's not ringing, that's me calling. And that's a little bit of what's going on here. Now, I can't make any sense of that either, but that was the name of the song.
Wait a minute.
We're short of space. But there's no need of talking about it. Just that when you don't see it, there's an old country song that says, baby, when that phone's not ringing, that's me calling.
When that phone's not ringing, that's
and
me
that's
calling.
A little bit of what's going on here. Now, I can't make any sense of that either, but that was the name of the song.
When the phone's not
got
ringing,
a good laughs there. Well, I guess that's another part of it, too, because we discussed thoroughly a couple days Devontae Adams, and we were kind of going through the money, and somebody said, look, that money is earmarked for somebody else. Is that the way you look at it, too, is you're like, look, I'm in this window where I'm trying to build. I can't go too far out of it to make a move like that, or are those moves intrigue and interest you all the time?
All fungible. It's very fungible. The word is...
Fungible?
No,
fungible.
It's not specifically for a player that you see in the future. It's just that you know when you leave the room and you don't flip the light out, and the only ones benefiting from the light in the room are mice or flies, why not flip the light out? And you save it for another day. You know you're going to have it. The idea is, how do you get up every day and really watch what you're doing, although your bank account is full? It's because you know that apart from that bank account, you've got all these other things that you're going to need money for. And so it's really not there. You can't use it as though it's there. It's not going to be there. Now, that's a fundamental thing that we all live in our lives to work with. But it's that simple. And no, we don't have X ear.
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Did I just...
Right now, brought to you by...
A little bit of what's going on here.
Wait a minute.
Or a player that you...
Okay. He says it's that simple. So let me see if I've got the new one. It's kind of like when you leave the room and nobody's in there, you're leaving the lights on for the flies, the mosquitoes, and the mice. So you might as well turn the lights off. And then he goes into your bank account might be full, but then money is earmarked for elsewhere? Oh, my God. We're in trouble, people.
See in the future. It's just that you know when you leave the room.
Listen to it again.
And you don't flip the light out. And the only ones benefiting from the light in the room are mice or flies. Why not flip the light out? and you save it for another day. You know you're going to have it. The idea is, how do you get up every day and really watch what you're doing, although your bank account is full? It's because you know that apart from that bank account, you've got all these other things that you're going to need money for. And so it's really not there. You can't use it as though it's there. It's not going to be there. Now, that's a fundamental thing that we all...
All right. Let me see if I've got this straight. I'm listening to that again, and light bulb comes out. He says when you leave the room and leave the lights on, it only benefits the mice and the flies. You know you're going to, you need to save that for other things. So are we equating the players as mice and flies? Because if we're saying that the lights are your money, and we're talking about using the money to bring in other players, isn't that basically saying that's he's equating? Am I okay? I shouldn't try and figure him out.
All live in our lives to work with, but it's that simple. And no, we don't have X earmarked that we would be looking at, let's say, bringing on a higher-priced receiver right now. We don't have that money, quote, dollar earmark for Parson or somebody like that. But you know that the facts are that the system is built so that it is a very impactful tool to putting teams to work within the salary cap system. That really is the secret to what makes our game so special and competitive. And so the first thing you got to know is when you walk out of the room, turn the lights off. You're going to need that.
We're talking with Jerry Jones right here on 105 Through the Fan. I don't think we got a chance to go into this from earlier. Can you tell us what happened with Brandon Cooks and how long he might be out?
Well, we're playing. We're dealing with an infection, period. And so he had procedures that are the main risk of the procedure, and he's had them in the past. We've had other players that have had it. The main risk is that you could have some infection. And so with all of that in mind, unfortunately, he did have that occur, and hopefully he's progressing. And it should be something that, while it limits him here for this game, probably maybe even the next game, it should be something that he should have a good recovery and be back on the field for us.
That procedure that led to the infection, that was team approved, right, though? That procedure that got done?
The issues are this. It's what the team approves is the player's ability to go do in their discretion what they want to do medically. It's their decision ultimately, the player. And so while we did not do the procedure at all, we knew he was going to look for the procedure that he ended up doing.
Hey, Jerry, when you land a helicopter on the practice field, what's the first thing you say to the players? Are you like, I've arrived, gentlemen? How does that conversation go?
Well, first of all, there is a little of me that smiles when we bring that helicopter in, and we're sitting right there in front of the Cowboy Club.
Jerry comes in on his white horse.
All of that's going on out there. We're proud of our helicopter and proud of the company that builds it, and I use it a lot for people going back and forth. A lot of our client sponsors go back and forth up to Oklahoma and take advantage of the stuff up there, that gaming and that type of thing. So the helicopter's in out there all the time. And that particular 2 days ago or 3 days ago, whenever I was on it, I'd been out at the stadium for a very exciting meeting with Ford and a lot of their people. And when I do that and I can cut that drive time down and make 2 or 3 things at the same time, that's when I use it.
Now,
Yeah, 'cause
we've
this
got a
time's
couple of
important because he's
Steelers
making all
fans
these
where we're
deals.
at today. Should we treat them with equal kindness or just bring up Super Bowl 30 again to them? What do you think?
Well, let me just say this. Bill Cowher is a pretty Steeler-oriented personality. And he's actually one of the guys that I enjoy being around most and have for years and years. But he's still a Steeler. And so if you get mad and have a pout every time you're around somebody that's for the other team, that might define your personality. I don't like to do that, and the best thing we can do is play great football out here Sunday.
Well, we appreciate it very much.
Sunday.
Hopefully y'all get
All right, so I did it to myself. So things to take away from this: when the phone's not ringing, Jerry's calling. And when you leave the room, turn off the lights because it's only benefiting the mice and the flies. And we wonder why we're not winning Super Bowls. It's listen to me. I'm going to sound crazy here because, see, people keep telling me, "Oh, we just need to change coach. We just need to change coach. We bring in Bill Belichick here. We're going to win the Super Bowl." Oh, no. Look, all we got to do, we got to get rid of that whack-ass Dak. Get rid of whack-ass Dak, and then we'll have money for flexibility, to sign a whole bunch of players, even though the Cowboys had that for 4 years and signed nobody of note. We get rid of whack-ass Dak, we'll win the Super Bowl because Dak's the problem we have, and Lord knows we've had a problem stopping the run here forever, and, of course, nobody wants to address that. It is actually a surprise that the Dallas Cowboys win any games whatsoever. It is actually a testament to Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy getting any victories with what we're getting from Jerry Jones. So I'm just going to say hypothetically here, as he talks about turning off the lights and saying, we need to save that money for other stuff, right? What are you saving it for? What are you saving it for? Because I don't see where you're spending it. I don't see where you're spending it to make the team better. So maybe this is the soft rebuild that they asked him. So there you have it, good people. 15 good minutes with Jerry Jones. Peace out.